Can nude art be spiritual? For many people, the question itself feels contradictory. Modern culture often separates the body from spirituality, treating flesh and transcendence as opposites. But throughout history, many civilizations believed exactly the opposite, that the human body could be one of the deepest expressions of the sacred. In ancient cultures, the nude body was not always associated with shame or temptation. In ancient Greece, physical beauty was often connected to harmony, balance, and divine order. Sculptures of gods and athletes were created nude not simply to display anatomy, but to represent ideal humanity, bodies elevated beyond ordinary existence. The body became a symbol of perfection, discipline, and cosmic proportion. In India, spiritual traditions developed entirely different relationships with the body. Temple sculptures often included sensual or nude figures not as vulgar imagery, but as reflections of fertility, creation, life energy, and the union between physical existence and spiritual reality. The body was not automatically seen as separate from the sacred, it was part of it. Even within Christianity, where attitudes toward nudity became more complicated over time, the body remained deeply important in religious art. Renaissance artists like Michelangelo filled churches and chapels with muscular nude figures representing prophets, saints, and biblical scenes. In works like The Last Judgment, the human body becomes overwhelming, almost cosmic in scale. Flesh is used not to distract from spirituality, but to express the drama of salvation, suffering, and transcendence. This reveals something important. Spirituality in art is not always about avoiding the body. Sometimes it is about seeing the body differently. Nude art becomes spiritual when it points beyond simple physical attraction towards something larger: mortality, vulnerability, creation, transformation, or the mystery of being human itself. The body becomes symbolic not because it stops being physical, but because it carries emotional and existential meaning. There is also a psychological dimension to this. The human body is the one thing every person inhabits, yet it remains fragile, temporary, and deeply mysterious. Artists often use nudity to strip away status, fashion, and social identity, leaving only the essential human condition. In this sense, the nude can become almost meditative, a confrontation with existence itself. Some modern artists continue exploring this connection. Rather than presenting idealized perfection, they depict the body in states of aging, vulnerability, silence, or emotional exposure. These works can feel spiritual not because they are religious, but because they reveal truths about suffering, impermanence, and human fragility. At the same time, societies often struggle with spiritual nude art because the body carries multiple meanings at once. Desire, beauty, vulnerability, intimacy, and sacred symbolism can coexist uncomfortably in the same image. Viewers bring their own cultural conditioning, fears, and expectations into what they see. This tension explains why nude art has repeatedly moved between worship and censorship throughout history. Some eras celebrated it as divine expression, others condemned it as moral danger. Yet the body itself never changed, only the meanings attached to it did. Perhaps the deeper question is not whether nude art can be spiritual. Perhaps the question is whether spirituality was ever truly separate from the human body to begin with. Because every spiritual experience, every emotion, prayer, fear, longing, or moment of transcendence, is ultimately lived through flesh and breath. And art has always understood that long before society was comfortable admitting it.